Yeah, but nevertheless, we would be discussing on steel construction beyond boundaries. Okay. So as such, there is no boundary for steel construction. If I'm not wrong, there is no boundary for steel construction. At the boundary, we decide ourselves. We think that here steel construction will not work. That cannot be done in steel. Why? I don't understand why we decide that. So we have to come out of those notional barriers, I would say. They are really not barriers, they are notional barriers. So can you tell me, sir, I mean, what are boundaries that comes in your mind? What? See, we are discussing about steel construction beyond boundaries. So do you have anything in your mind that this is the boundary for steel construction?
Look, today morning one of the panelists has told wonderful thing. There are 3,500 type of steel, correct?
Yes.
And we are talking of only one or two type of steel. So this is the first boundary itself come in our discussion on that.
Yes.
So this is the boundary. This is the thought process in that we bind ourselves on that. If you see human history of 10,000 years. Steel is there from the 1300 year, and if you see all construction before steel and after steel are different. So Indian civilization is more of a without steel. So when there was no steel, nothing was there to take tension, so they devised the arch and all those method which we can see in the our Madurai temples and all those things. So now with the steel, there are so many different steel. We take one steel in work. If we take all the steel in work, technically there is, if you see RCC, RCC is also, without steel, RCC is not there. Technically,
right.
That's the thought process. We are discussing a specific here and do. So today, if you talk to anybody in the world, they say it's India which is developing. It's India's next 20 years is India. So this is an opportunity for steel. This is opportunity for steel. This is opportunity for everybody to take their share. Whoever do the more innovation, whoever do the much better work, he will get better share.
Right.
That's as simple.
Right. So any boundaries that you can think of, sir? That steel has this boundary. Steel cannot work beyond this.
I don't think
I'm yet to find out that. So our panel discussion can start only if we know this is the boundary and we have to come across that. Yeah. So we have to know some boundaries.
As more of a construction professional than design professional, what I can say is still the lacuna in the government departments of using steel as a material is basically barrier has to be broken, because everybody understand, I think 60 to 70% of the construction is being taken by government departments. Right. And still they have an inherent resistance or whatever other word you can use. Still they are not accepting steel in that form or in a more user-friendly form than what it should be. So I think that is a huge bottleneck or a boundary that need to be taken care, I think.
Yes.
Private sector, I think now it is very much acceptable, and the way suddenly this construction or a infrastructure boom has come up, without steel, presently you can't think even of achieving those targets. So private sector, I think, has accepted because they can move fast, they can adapt fast. But still, government sector, these projects are happening. Okay, timelines are they are trying to match, but those timelines can further be taken care, and further speed and other problems can be taken care with this. If this barrier can be broken, that's what.
Right. So we have Mr. Sinha. I'm sure you are using steel extensively, right?
Yes,
what stops other government departments to adopt that? I think that steel is a good solution.
Definitely, it's a good solution. But as we are discussing about the boundaries, what I can say is if we talk about man, material, machine, and the methods, material is not a problem. Enough of steel is being produced in India. Different grades, as we have been talking about the types of steel. Those are available. Of course, of course, uh, transportation could be a problem because of some areas remotely located. Compared to concrete, which is mixed at site itself, the raw materials are available and mixed at site. Steel manufactured, transportation could be a limiting factor. Then talking about the methods, yes, we have all the tools available to design any structure or a building in steel. Those are available, and machines are available, no doubt. Good fabricating CNC cutting machines are available. Only thing which is stopping us is somewhere collaborating these 4 or 5 factors together. Someone has to think about it. And as we have seen in the COVID and the post-COVID era, a lot of off-site, you can say, manufacturing, or like in concrete also we have been moving towards precast. Similarly in steel, prefabricated and modular steels are being worked upon. So we need to expand our footprint, our efforts in those sectors where we can have good fabricating shops, good fabrication, quality fabrication yards should be available, and also in making it a modular construction that will definitely, whatever boundary we talk about, that will go away with time. Yes, those will improve.
So can we also have, yeah. So can we also have some participation from audience? If anyone is working with government or in some decision-making position in government, can someone from the audience also contribute to this? But that's the one boundary which we need to break. And how do we do that? Yes, we can convince them that, look, this is going to be faster, material will be available, we will do project in time. All right, we try and convince them. So what is stopping them? Why they are unable to take decision on those aspects? And if there is any way we can help them, yes, we are here to do that. And as it was said in previous conferences also, we are not building one structure or one buildings. We are today constructing entire country. We all have to travel together. Only one person or few contractors cannot construct country. It has to be a collective effort. Let's do it. I mean, very few people get such opportunity to construct country during their lifetime. We have that, let's utilize it. So, I mean, anybody from audience, I would request, if you have any access or any experience in such decision making from the government side, if you have, please contribute. You can also send your suggestions or questions on a sheet, and we will answer to that, or we will address that.
Actually,
Sir, can you come on this side, because it's difficult to, because of this light, it's difficult for us to see you.
okay.
Yeah,
I am Pankaj Agarwal from Jindal Stainless.
yeah.
So actually, you have made a very right point, but whenever we approach any government agency or department, the first resistance is why I should change. Then if I do some change, then I will be the person accountable for that.
Right.
So there is a sense of kind of insecurity with the decision-making authority.
Right.
So that initiative is not there. Secondly, when we have to kind of get it vetted, like sometimes we suggest that we'll get it vetted by some IIT or some other professor or something. Still, they have their own inhibitions about the particular institute, and again, there is that sense of insecurity that is taking it further. Another thing is the perspective of cost. That is very important to be taken, because for any good technology, any good material, if we are stuck with the cost at the initial stage, then we cannot make any progress. So
Right.
normally, the cost is a factor of cost over the service life of the asset. if we do the service life costing, and then if we see what is the good thing, what is not good thing, then I think perhaps they can make a big difference in the decision making. And the quality of the infrastructure that we are creating for next 100 years, 150 years can be improved.
Right.
So these are the two challenges where, despite all said and done, all the authorities will talk very good in front of you, they will do everything, but when it comes to actually taking the decision, then they are somehow or the other finding ways of doing it. So I think...
So how do you think we should solve that? We need to solve it.
Yeah, I think we need to create some more confidence. We have to engage with them more often, and maybe from the policy side, we should be forcing more towards the central ministry or somewhere, because like NHAI, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, they are more adaptable to the new technology and other things as compared to the other departments, perhaps. So, like, it also depends on the person in charge. Like, if Gadkari is there, then the way of thinking is different.
Right.
And if somebody else is there, the way of thinking is different. Same applies to the state governments also. So, we identify the decision makers who are little bold, who are sure of their ability, of their decision-making tactics, because it also happens that if I am not capable enough, or if I don't have that much of confidence in me, then I may kind of hide out behind something.
Exactly.
So
So
otherwise
that could be one of the reasons for government officials to not get involved with the steel construction, or not to take decision to change things, you know.
Change things, yeah.
They are not seeing enough confidence or enough competence
in themselves.
In the other side of it, who is going to actually execute that.
Yeah, because if somebody asks will, then I don't have the validation, I don't have that
Exactly.
competence to answer that question.
That, yes.
So perhaps that is also an issue. Maybe with the transition of the generation, this
will
will
change.
also go in next 5-7 years. Things are improving, definitely, but they need to improve
Yeah, but
faster.
we need to hold on to it.
Yes.
We should, I mean, we as a good group of steel construction people, we should not give up.
Yes,
We
definitely.
should be increasing the pressure on them.
Yes.
That, sir, this is the right way.
Yeah.
Look, so many people have done this. Look, this is done there.
Yeah.
This type of building is constructed here.
Yeah.
Why don't you use?
Yeah.
And you are going to be benefited.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you will do it faster. And believe me, many places, even I have proven that steel building is cheaper than RCC.
Yes.
Not necessarily that always steel is costlier.
Yeah, it's cheaper and it is faster also.
Yes,
Your asset
so
is available.
all benefits.
All benefits. Your asset is available, and then you can dismantle it, put it somewhere else if you want.
Even if I don't want to dismantle
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
still, I can tell you, I mean, if you yourself can judge this, there is a notional feeling that concrete is stronger than steel.
Yeah.
Not in all conditions.
Not condition, yes.
I can show you 100 structures constructed in steel and they are standing for more than 100 years.
Yes.
Not one or two. There are so many of them. We all know,
Yeah.
right? Show me one concrete structure that is standing for 100 years. I'm talking about RCC concrete,
Yes.
not stone structure.
No stone structures, yes.
Stone is very strong,
Yeah.
we agree. But RCC, I have not seen any structure standing for 100 years.
That is true. And it again depends on the kind of control we can have in the construction.
Exactly.
So in RCC, the controls are very difficult to have, because in
Correct.
steel, nobody can take away chromium out of steel or
Exactly.
iron ore out of steel.
correct.
But in
Quality is assured.
yeah, but in case of concrete, somebody may add cement 10% less or more. That can be done. But in steel, nobody can do that.
Correct.
So
So
that is
these
also
are probably the reasonings and these are methodologies that we can use to convince government authorities that look, you are not using any inferior material.
Yes.
Think of 5 years or 10 years before,
Yeah.
how many bridges were constructed in steel?
Yeah.
Now, majority of them is happening in steel. They are now confident.
Yes.
So it's only question of adapting things.
Yes.
You accept it, trust the other side, and it will happen.
Yeah. So that is there. So I
Right.
think you very, but I liked your statement. Now we are getting the opportunity to build the nation in
Yes,
our lifetime. So
exactly.
that is the
lifetime
challenge.
opportunity.
Yes.
How
It
many
is for
people
everybody.
get that?
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
It is for everybody. Everybody in this
Yes.
room and everybody outside this room also.
Yes.
This is the opportunity of the life.
And this is biggest opportunity for all the youngsters
Yes.
who have probably started their career, who are early stage of their career.
Yeah.
How many? We never got this opportunity when we were of your age.
Yes.
The opportunities were very limited.
Yeah.
Now they started coming. So this is extremely good condition for any steel professional.
Yes.
Any steel professional. This probably is a ideal condition. This is the best possible thing that you can get.
Yes.
Please take all advantage of it.
Yes. Definitely.
Right?
Thank you.
Krishnendu ji, you wanted to share something.
Yeah. Now, talking about the steel construction beyond boundaries, I think this is actually a problem of the perception. Okay. See, one side we are thinking that this can be done. The other side is thinking why it should be done because there are certain parameters. So the perception has to be changed from other side also. See, I'm talking about the steel structure, why we can't do steel structure compared to RCC structure. So basically, we talked about several times that there are two things, we have two segments, they can change their mindset. Number one, the government officials, government sectors, whether they can change, and they have already started, we have seen that they have already changing the perception, they have already started doing the RCC steel structures in many ways. And second part is the developer sectors, because I belong to a developer sector, I know that why the developers has a mindset that why we should do a structure in steel, because of cost parameters or certain other issues also, because of the availability of materials. I still remember actually in one of my project in atmosphere in Calcutta in 2011-12, something like that, we have certain section which was not available in India. So we have to procure it from Coras, London, because that UV section of 456 section was not available in India at that point of time. So we have to brought all the way from US. But why this was happened? Because in 2012 in Calcutta, because you know the Eastern India people, we are always a little bit reluctant to start new invention, new technology. We are the one who are a little bit, we accept this when the other parts of India has already started, then we are actually use those materials, we use those technology. We are a little bit reluctant to start to use that technology. That is my perception. Now coming back to my project, so we have procured that material, and that the cost was huge, because I still remember around 92,000 to 1 lakh per tonnage we have actually procured, and there was actually a taxes part, then the then the CIF charges was there. So a developer at that point of time, they are thinking that, well, we have to do this structure because steel will give that flexibility, because that entire span was 96 meter and having a skew structure with a span of 22 meters from at one end to 27 meter at the other sides. And there will be a curved structure all along the things. And who's other than steel can give that kind of flexibility? So it is the mindset you have to change. And I think already we have seen, because whenever we are actually finalizing any project, we always do a comparison, why we should do in steel, why we should not do in RCC. Because there is another project which is lined up, we are about to start, actually it was about to, we are planned to start way back in 2020, because of COVID we could not able to start that project. But we thought that we will convert the entire project into RCC. The reason being, from developers' perspective, we do a project by taking money from either from the bank or NBFCs. So we have to take money with high interest rates, so 15, 20, 25% from the private players. So steel is the only option which can return you back those money, because your overhead charge will be drastically reduced, because we can, in a shorter period of time, you can do the constructions and you can hand it over to the buyers, and up to certain stage you can also start generating money. So we do a lot of calculations prior to start of the project to do the feasibility study, that whether we should adopt steel or not. Every time steel has given a plus side always. So this is the reason that the mindset has to be changed from the developers end, and that is already started.
Coming back to the initiation done by Amit ji, that the boundaries. So when we have gone around the hall, the boundaries are basically set by us, not by steel.
Yes, that's our mindset.
My mindset. If I, as a person from academics, I have been teaching for 30 years. I am teaching design to my students and practicing. In the content, which is approved by All India Council for Technical Education, absolutely very balanced content that we have equal number of papers teaching RCC design, as many equal number of papers teaching steel design. So from that point of view, it's not that we are not skilling the engineers to get into steel. Basic point here is probably the way our economy moves. Labor was cheaper in our country. Skilled people are required for steel construction. I started my consulting 94, 95, mostly doing a lot of fabrication drawing for giant like L&T and all as a young engineer. And I found that steel is probably something only to be used in the industries. You go to the big of the refineries, plants, factories. It was a concept that if it is a factory, then it's a steel, and if I have to live in a house, it has to be in wood or RCC or timber. Today, it was so refreshing to see Lingdo and Sujit Dey, who always does a lot of interesting projects. He is so active in factories, and good to see that they're expanding the horizon, pushing the boundaries to residential. Today's last presentation was so refreshing that I would love to live in a house like that. Because I know the house is very safe. Quality control is already happening there in the material. When we use steel, the factor of safety that we use in steel is 1.15. And in concrete, 1.5. But before that, we put another 1.5 in the strength of the concrete. So it is 0.67 FCK that we take into design, even in plastic analysis. 67% of the actual characteristic strength of the concrete we bring in. In case of steel, I just take 87%. Yeah, 1.15. So I am actually using lesser resources, my confidence. So why? My confidence on the material is very high, but why I am not using it? So there is a mindset that steel is for industry, and rest is, if I have to do any dwelling units, residential, even multi-storied apartment. But what I see when we tried to bring steel, in one project we almost did it, a multi-storied commercial project, we almost finalized that it will be in steel. But when it came to upfront capital investment, the developers, they were looking at market condition and they want to go floor by floor slowly. In that case, RCC comes handy because you can have local labor, you buy cement, buy steel, do one level, go for booking, then wait. Then in case of steel, it is little difficult. So we have to push those boundaries, and once we can change the mindset. And I think, as it has been told by everyone, that government, public sector could be actually demonstrating the use of steel. If we need to achieve, third economy. Yes. If we have to achieve the position of third economy, and we have to be a how many $1 trillion economy, there is no way out. Steel is the material. Exactly. If we have to do it fast. So if we can wait and go slowly and relax, still you can go with other material.
You will miss the train.
Yeah.
That's it.
It will not happen.
Nobody will wait for you.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity. Please accept it. Grab it. Do whatever you can. Please do it. Yeah. Don't sit on that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Someone else will grab it for you.
And Miji, if the youngsters are not getting ready for steel,
yeah, so
they will miss the bus. Our days are now gone.
No, I seriously want to know from some young person sitting here, what is stopping you from using steel? Or what was stopping you when you were studying in engineering college? Why you are not preferring steel construction or steel design? Is there any reason for you? We are here and onus is on us to solve that. Please accept that way. It is very positive. Not that you have some trouble, but we would like to know so that it can be solved.
Mr. Amit, can I just add one point there?
Yeah, sorry. We are unable to see that because of the lights. Sorry.
I know. Yeah, I'll come over here.
Come here. Come this side, please. Yeah.
I'm not sure whether, I have read it somewhere, though I'm not sure that it's 100% true. One of the reasons why steel buildings became so popular in China, I had read somewhere, is that the Chinese government made it compulsory to use a certain percentage of recyclable material in their building. To begin with, it was 5%,
Right.
and then they went on increasing it up to 55%, something like that. So obviously, to comply with this, lot of companies, lot of developers went on using steel buildings. Many of them built the buildings 100% with steel and things like that. So is something like this not possible in our country? Because again, you're mentioning third
I
biggest.
want to come as a devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we are all talking in one direction. Let's understand the other part of it.
Okay.
I'm devil's advocate. I'm not saying I'm not still. Let me be other side of it. Look, if you see innovation, 20 years back you were using the maximum M30 grade concrete. Today you are going to get M70, M80 as a regular in all. Earlier all the bridges were in steel. Now all those bridges has been mostly slowly taken over by the concrete. Steel we were using 350. Now we have hardly get 500. So look, pace of your innovation and the flexibility. Steel you can't use in a road. You need a something cost in situ. Steel cannot be cost in situ. So there is an ecosystem in our country which is developed to support the concrete as a material, because you don't need skilled manpower at end in the concrete. But when you do steel, you need the skilled manpower at the end. Correct. Second is the commercial, as he rightly said. Steel is a capital upfronting and the concrete is later. So this is an ecosystem which is there. First thing, what steel has to do, the area which is your strength, you work and get it done the area. Bridges, only very critical Chinab bridge is becoming in steel, otherwise the bridges are going in a concrete. So you have to come up with the innovation and the designs and overall area where you can really use the steel on the,
Right.
as a strength on that. Some area you have a composite. Concrete and steel combination work better. It doesn't work alone. It doesn't work in that.
Yes. So we are not replacing
Yeah.
concrete.
Second, third is, I don't blame government. Somehow I am not in your side. Look, government follow what the private do it. If you see earlier, government was not doing glazing building. Now government is start doing glazing building. Why? Because they saw the private, they saw the ACP glazing is being done. They slowly start adopting. Government, because of that, decision making will be little slow and
Slower,
so
yes.
if you start getting some of the good products in the steel, automatically government will follow. That's how there will be aspiration to do on that.
So what I am trying to say is, see, we are not saying that 100% concrete should be replaced by steel.
You cannot.
You cannot. You can never do that, and why you should do it? There is no need to do it. There is no need. But there are sectors, or there are places where ideally steel should be used, but we are still using concrete. The ideal example is bridges.
Malls.
Bridges will be much faster, much better with steel.
Malls, shopping malls,
You have majority of the bridges constructed in Bombay failing because of corrosion of
See, sir,
reinforcement.
even if you look at the absolute numbers, we are dreaming of becoming the third biggest economy.
Yes.
The per capita steel consumption in India is probably less than one-third
Much
that
less,
of China.
Correct.
So where the steel consumption is going to come? Unless government intervenes, does something, how is it going to changing mindset? If you are going to wait, then it's going to take decades to reach there.
No. So that's
What is the
that's what I am
government
saying.
reason to change?
I don't hate.
आपको per cap, see, as Mr. Amit was telling quite rightly, steel buildings are actually cheaper than RCC building if you consider the return on investment and
Yes.
recyclable environment cost, etc.
Sir, I think let's not live in the fool's paradise. Steel buildings are costly. Whatever cost we say, and developer
This
who
is
has
exactly
to,
what we
developer
got
who
to
has to
change.
put the cost at beginning, he has to
Right.
put the cost at beginning.
So yes, what I am trying to say is,
But
I am not saying that we are replacing 100% of concrete with steel. No, that nobody can do that. Nowhere in world it is done. What I am trying to say is there are applications, there are places where steel is a better answer. For example, bridge. I am again repeating that. constructing a bridge in Mumbai, in RCC, I'll say is criminal. You are closing the road for maybe 3 years, 4 years and all, and you're creating all kind of hassles for the traffic. Why you have to do it? Even if you have to spend 100 crore extra, if you take a general opinion poll from citizens, I'm sure 90% of the people will say that please construct in steel, spend 100 crore more, but give us better life.
No, Amit,
And that's, you are using public money, right?
no, I am also telling one more area. You have a commercial office building. You
It
have
has
a
to
mall,
be steel.
large span. Actually, steel will be economical or at par with the concrete.
Exactly.
But what happened, where our familiarity with the concrete is so much, people don't want to take a chance. So that ecosystem we have to...
So that has to, now who will change that? The onus is on us.
Precisely my point, sir. Some push from
will do
government
it?
would help in this form. I mean, example of China.
Actually, if you do real value engineering, what, you know, that we have, very good that we have alternate views coming up, but if I have a project which is having project finance from the bank, and if I am paying interest on my loan every month or every quarter, then my return on investment can be calculated. And for a larger project, probably the cost curve somewhere will go below the RCC in some project. But for smaller project, I agree. For smaller project with easy availability of labor and resources around, maybe RCC building is still difficult to beat. But what Amitji is saying, that steel should not come as an alternative where concrete cannot be used. Steel should have its own domain where steel is advantageous and concrete is there to stay. A road,
yes.
concrete roads are coming, though the riding quality is not very good. I love to ride on a bitumen road anyway. Always the riding quality is better. But I would say there's a lobby in the country who is promoting cement and concrete. There's a lobby. Can I say that the lobby, steel lobby is not been strong enough to bring up the reform that should be put in? But the government is going for steel where they know that speed is very important. You name any airport, you see the old airport in Kolkata, the Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose International Terminal in concrete. If you see the finishing, the look it had, the maintenance, it was horrible. I'm not blaming the concrete. It is difficult with all those grids, you know, columns, you know, hexagonal columns. Now the airport is entirely in steel. You know,
See,
maybe the cost may be less.
So it is adapted.
Adapted.
Airport has adapted that yes, steel is right answer for us. Bridge construction, lot of people have adapted that no, steel is the right answer. We can do it much faster. We can go to next project. So they have adapted it. Similarly, if you see many railway bridges, even railway stations, they have started adapting. Railway station redevelopment will be in steel. The way you are doing in airport, you can do it in railways as well. So adaptability is coming. The onus is on us. We have to continuously push that, sir, this is the right answer. I am not trying to say that, no, sir, steel is very good, build road with steel. It's foolish to talk about that. There is no point doing that at all. But at least a place where steel is a right answer and other side is not accepting it, we should be able to convince them by all means, including making some financial reports that look, this is what it will cost you eventually. Today we are not calculating carbon cost, right? You factor carbon cost in that and then see which concrete building is cheaper. Country is paying for that. Country is actually paying for that carbon footprint.
I can add to the boundaries question, saying that one of the government agencies, BMTPC, has also come up with GHTC, Global Housing Technology Challenge, in which they have shortlisted 7 projects, and I think one is the LGSF and another one is also in steel. So government is doing their part. Now it is up to us to adopt those technology and promote it. And in fact, as far as our company is concerned, EIL is concerned, we are doing even foundations in steel. We are doing steel piles in some of the projects. So it has gone in the domain where nobody would thought of keeping foundations in steel. So we have been doing that. And believe me, government is doing their part. Yes, the industry and other stakeholders should come forward and promote the use of steel.
I would like to hear from some young people sitting here. Otherwise, you are wasting your time, I'm telling you. If you don't capitalize on this opportunity, you will waste your time and opportunity both. Yeah, please, please. You can, sir.
Sir, I've done a couple of steel projects. Sir, I didn't find any difficulties in the acceptance from the government or any private agencies. The thing is, the materials are not readily available here. The thing, it is either people from Siliguri or Delhi or outside, they get it, transit here, and they fabricate and erect. So it take a bit longer period of time. So that mindset, people are they already have that mindset. It will take some more time. So other than that, I don't think there is much difficulty in steel industries.
So if particular material is not available, can you not replace it with something, some alternative thing?
Sir, economy and many
Economy
factors.
you will get. I don't think it's impossible to replace section.
Sir, mainly I'm talking about PEB sector. Other conventional sections we readily get over here. But PEB sections which we don't have any industry, which they have the industries here in Northeast. Most of the industries are in either Siliguri or Delhi based or
They
NCR.
transport it. Why not?
They do it right now, but the thing is they take some time. So I think this sometimes it restricts us to give it a quick delivery to the project, and sometimes.
So how long? I mean, if you don't mind, can you share actual figures that I was expecting delivery in 10 days and they took 2 months or something like
No,
that?
when we tell it to the client, so they tell that they'll take a lot of time, 2-3 months
No,
of
they
time.
do it much faster than conventional people. Let me tell you, I handle not less than 50,000 ton of steel every year, and I can tell you, if you have a 1,000 ton project, conventional steel will take you 5 to 6 months to complete that. Same thing, PV can deliver in 1.5 months, because they have state-of-art factories to manufacture it, right? So I can recommend you should go to some PV plant, go to any PV manufacturing facility, and you will understand what I am saying. They can manufacture in much bigger quantum than conventional steel people. Now, forget about that. Compared to RCC, if you have to do particular project in RCC, this is a time frame, and you have to do same project in steel by a PEB vendor, this is the time frame. You can always make that comparison and show it to him that, sir, RCC is no easy thing to do. You will have time of doing shuttering, you will have to place reinforcements, then do casting. The casting will happen only in 1.5 meter lift every time. So RCC also has its own challenges. I am again not saying that I am trying to replace RCC. No, that's not a question. Question is some places where steel is the right answer, there is no point using RCC. Wrong thing that we do is we still keep using RCC just because of probably ease of decision making. Sir, RCC पे कर लेते हैं ना?
Yeah,
Is
that
that the
is
reason? Is that the reason probably?
Sir, apart from that, sir, sometimes when we approach some government organizations to go for PEB or some other steel structures, so they just want us to see like how it is fabricated or how it is done. So
Exactly. Take them to the PEB factory. Ask officials to visit some PEB factory. There are plenty of them in and around Delhi,
Sir.
right? Or I don't know. Siliguri has any PEB manufacturing?
Yes, yes.
we have.
Sir,
Take
that's
them
what,
to their
sir,
factory.
if we can
Let
promote
them,
this.
let them see that. Once they see those state-of-art factories, they will feel, sir, this is much better way to do it, rather than managing it at site.
Yeah,
What kind of tonnages we are looking at, the project that you are mentioning? What kind of tonnage of project?
Just a simple 100 ton of like
The scale might be one factor where bigger player would not like to go for. So of course, yeah, that
But
could be one limitation.
But see,
But at the same time, what I would like to mention is, arranging a plant visit or a site visit should not be a problem. That could not be a constraint because we can organize that.
Already we are working with some of the like players who are already here, like
Oh, great.
Trilok Infrastructure.
Great,
We are
great.
already working with them, but sometimes what my concern was, ki why don't we plan some industry sort of like thing here so that it becomes easy for us to make a visit and.
see, for making your life easier, who will pay for their profits?
No,
Who
we
will
can
pay for
do
their
that. I
salaries
think
and all?
that's a good suggestion. If all the audience who are here, if they are interested, we can organize a plant visit for you. Usually we do it at Steel Day, where we do one plant visit and one site visit. So in case if you are interested and if you want to see actually how steel is fabricated, we can organize in any fabrication. I'm sure.
We can organize any PET.
Yeah, I'm sure Mr. Agarwal will be keen, or other fabricators who are here, they will also be keen to organize this. So if you all are keen, I request you to please fill the feedback form. Tell us maybe next month if you are keen, then we can organize a plant visit to a PEB factory where you can see actually steel getting fabricated for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, one solution could be of your problem could be that the way we do it, see, all the projects are planned well in advance. So once you know the quantum or even the section sizes, you can discuss with the manufacturers that I want these type of sections in this much period, this is the delivery date which we want. So they can plan the dealership, the stockist, they can handle those things. So it is easy. I mean, we also face a lot of problem in supplies, but now even smaller supplies are being done if you plan it properly. And then also one hesitation is that steel is not available on credit, unlike other construction materials. So we have to pay upfront. That is the cost, and contractors generally don't do that because of the price fluctuation in the steel. So that may be one of the factors. So yeah.
Everybody will need to probably accept slowly or sooner the better. Days of credit is getting over. Earlier, people were doing, okay, I purchase a steel, I will pay after 6 months and all. Days are over now. Nobody, even government is not supporting that. If you are MSME registered and if you are not getting paid for 1 month, you can give legal notice to the entity and those people will have serious problems because government will support you. So days of credits, I think it's over. Nobody will talk about credit. Sooner or later it's going to end.
Yeah, even the RMC vendors, previously what happened, they used to give us a 1 month credit period. These days you have to give 1 month's advance to them.
Yes.
Then only they will supply you materials. Still
Those
always
days are
been an
over.
advance payment concept. Now,
Any project decision, if you are taking on credit, you are erring.
You have to build in that price escalation clause in your contracts also.
Thank you, sir.
sir, talking about the steel construction beyond boundaries, I have some interesting question came in my mind, which our expert panels can and all the audience can also answer. Now, talking about a normal high-rise building of say 20, 25, 30-storied building, Bombay has to be more than 150 meter to be considered as a high-rise building. For a normal building, we do a RCC structure until unless there is an interesting elements into in that high-rise building, which is obviously can be thought to be constructed in steel. But normally, 99% cases we will be using RCC because it's a shear wall concept, and the high-rises building we normally do. But for thinking about the beyond boundaries, whether we can consider that high-rise building to be constructed with RCC structure, and whatever the cost will be there, we know that the steel will be obviously initial cost will be high, and that will be the developer will obviously add those costs into the selling price of the apartment. So automatically the burden will be on the buyer's side. So can we think about that, whether we can construct this building in steel? Obviously that will be reducing, time will be reduced, but again developer is again also banking on the booking of the project, because his project will be stuck until unless he get the money from from the buyers also. So this is a 50-50 situation. So what is our thought process? What should we think about whether we can consider RCC or we can consider steel or we will go back to RCC?
Krishnendu, can I tell the experience, this thing? If you are doing look, other than Bombay, because
Bombay calculations are different.
Bombay, other than
Totally,
Bombay,
completely different.
if you are doing building less than 20 story or 18 story, it doesn't make sense to do steel because you will not save in that time that much, and the size of structure will not be that much economical to get you that benefit. Moment you are going above, and otherwise you are going with a large span. If you see typical IT building, a commercial building with a 11 meter, 11.2 meter span and the 18, 16, 15 or 14 story, it makes more sense to do with the RCC because of the overall time frame and you won't save that in cost. You start getting benefit above 20 floor, you start getting benefit for the very large span, something which is in the shopping malls. You get those benefits where you really have that advantage of steel on that. So these are the certain basics. Many developer has done the R&D. The trouble is upfront loading is one of the major trouble which happen when the developer's mind is familiarity. And it has happened in the past when developer has gone with the new building. The steel company has taken the certain, they were limited company and there was a kind of semi-monopoly and they had taken advantage of a situation. That has put the lot of things on the back burner on that. So that mindset of both sides has to improve to do it. You have something good, but what happened, initial experience were not that good, so you stop going on that direction. That was the case.
So, to answer this thing, in Mumbai, many developers have understood this. For them, if they complete a project in 2 years or 3 years, their earning, whatever they are going to get, is over a period of 3 years. Otherwise, the same earning, amount of earning remains same earning they will get in 5 years. It's better that you get it in 3 years. Your profitability, overall profitability has improved. So, in Mumbai, it is absolutely no second thought. One is saving time. Second, saving space. If you have to construct, there are so many constraints around. No, you will not have space to do RCC construction and all. So if you have steel construction, you quickly finish it off and come out of that straight away. So in place like Mumbai, of course, steel will be an easier choice. Second part, I'll tell you, Japan. If any one of you have visited Japan initially, I think 90 or 95% of the buildings in Japan are steel. They are not constructing in RCC at all. They have understood over a period of time, because of seismic activities, the concrete structures have given a lot of problems to them. Steel structures are standing fine. There is no problem. So they have adapted it. They have understood that this is the right choice for us to do. You will have teething problems. You will have to change the way you see building. There will be a lot of things that you need to do. Even architects will have to put great effort to come out of those changes. Today you think that in concrete, wherever you want, you will do core cutting. In steel, it may not be possible to do. So there will be challenges, but it's not impossible. We all can work towards that and we can come out of it. If we identify the challenge, there is a solution to it. There is always. In the morning we were discussing, Mr. Saini was saying that you cannot put nails on that. Fine, don't use nails, use screws. Who is forcing you to use nails? Screw is even better option. So there will be solutions. There will be solutions. And there are knowledge base available. There are experience available. There are so many people in the industry who has experience of constructing G plus 20 story building in steel. Last Steel Expo, we had one such presentation also. I think that is G plus 27, if I'm not forgetting. G plus 27 story building coming up in steel in South Mumbai. Very prestigious location where land price, the flat prices, apartment price will be in the range of 1.5 lakh per square feet. He's doing it in steel. So it is possible. There will be problems, but we have to find answers to that. So if problem is known, we can find answer.
Yeah, one more advantage we can talk about steel is that expandability, or you can enhance the building, you can expand vertically, horizontally, which is difficult in concrete. Any modifications are easier in steel to do, which
Yes.
are very difficult in concrete. So later on, suppose you decide to add 2 more floors or make cantilevers and all, it is very easy in steel. Strengthening is also very easy in steel.
One interesting thing I just wanted to add that in West Bengal actually, the government has now started doing for any project where they will be doing the renovation wall or the new projects, they are inviting the architects to give a presentation. Okay, so there will be a 3, 4, 5, 6 presentation, and basis of that they finalize one thing. Ultimately, that projects, when they are talking with the structural consultants, it has been converted into a steel structure. Now the Milan Mela has recently been renovated. The entire thing has been renovated. It has been done with steel structures. Dhanodhanne already, we have seen that presentation in Mumbai. That has also been steel structure. So it has been, the perception is changing from the government end also. So as I pointed out that we are the Eastern people are reluctant to use the new technology. But again, having said that, we have started doing that because we have seen few changes in the government sector also.
One more thing I can add here is that nowadays it's a new concept of making the contracts or tenders technology neutral. That means you don't define the material of construction. You define your requirements, the square feet, the area requirement, height and other principal requirements you define, and make it a technology neutral. So let the design build contractor come and demonstrate which is the best way. Again, put it on the life cycle cost analysis.
Just to add one point, in one of our township projects, we have adopted the similar technology because we have given the entire concept design to a main con. So main con are actually giving up options of whether it will be with steel or RCC. So they are giving both the options because we are actually working on both the options, and definitely then the final feasibility study will come. So this concept has now changed. Now we are not emphasizing on whether it has to be RCC only. So we are giving an option whether option A RCC, option B steel, and you give a design build contract with the per square feet basis cost or maybe a lump sum contract kind of things. So things are changing in that way.
Yes. We have some time constraint, so let's take last few views from audience. If any one of you would like to contribute to this.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So there are you all discussed about the concrete for apartments and commercial complexes. A designer should always keep it in mind whenever they are doing a commercial complex, there should be a different approach and an apartment. I don't fully agree for all the apartments we can do. Basal sir, Anand Basal sir, do you agree with me? So because the apartment generally architect wants only 200 or 230 width and they wanted a column, sleek column. It may not be possible for the apartments for a 30-storied, 35-storied or 50-storied. For a commercial complex, I fully agree, any number of floors because there is no constraints. So, but even in a residential, people wanted a big cantilevers and all those things. And some of the problems when we are designing and executing for the apartments, there could be because of the slenderness of the column in other direction, there will be a sway will also be there. So those things has to be kept in mind when we are designing and executing it.
Yes, of course, you have to design it perfectly. You cannot be, just because you want to use steel, you cannot be compromising on design requirements. It's impossible.
Few experience what has happened. Architect and developer has asked, this you reduce, that you reduce, and some of the consultant has compromised. I'm not saying which kind of structure, and there are one or two consultant who claim to be from IIT and all. They have gone and done the very design which were unsafe. So today, all those retrofitting is making the developer realize that they have to put the serious effort in design because all those troubles are coming.
You need to have a good team who will execute your project, right? That is required. Good architect, good structural engineer, people. That's the reason why I was asking young people why you are not doing it. If you don't do it, Maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, we will find that we want to do steel construction, but professionals are not available.
We had a similar case
Or,
10 years back.
or some foreigners will come and start their shop here and they will earn in India. So would you, I mean, are you happy to let that happen? Yes. 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 So core in RCC and other steel construction have to go together, because you will have a lot of insert plates in core to which your steel gets connected. Core of steel probably may not work. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, please.
Sir, actually,
Yeah, on this side, because we are not able to see anything that.
sir, actually, like we are doing currently like at a smaller scale as we are the younger, so we don't have a larger scale amount of projects and all that thing.
Perfect.
So usually we are facing doing in a PEB. Actually, vendor and all that or a consultant also told us to go with the steel structure as the construction speed is high, and when the rainy and the land is muddy and all this thing, then they prefer to come out as soon as possible from the construction, so they are going for the steel structure.
Yes.
But the when we are doing any kind of warehouses and all that thing, so that warehouses is also not like that big and all that thing. So when we go for the any kind of PEB consultant or a manufacturer, they are not accepting us because the consumption is less, is not as much as like so they are always saying us कि like we need a minimum 300 like tons or 500 tons minimum, otherwise we are not doing. So at least 4 to 5 vendors in a last 3-4 projects I just reject because of this kind of thing, because transporting is also a problem, as here it is not a big manufacturing units and all that thing. So basically we are in a starting we are facing this. So after that we are like stopping and okay, let's go for the concrete, because we cannot afford this kind of thing. That's right.
Answer number 1. See, problem is PEB agency is not accepting small scale of work. Okay, please understand their economics. Okay, whether they do 50-ton project or they do 500-ton project, same design engineer is working on that project, right? So you may have to support them. You may have to say that, look, I am giving you design. Don't involve your design team at all. I am giving the design, you fabricate and supply it. One option. I'll give you various ways to address your problem. Okay, one option. Second option, now, why PEB only? You can use readily available sections. Your steel consumption will go up, right? But still, it will be profitable business for you. Because even if you go for PEB, they will quote higher. For a small amount of work, for 50-ton project, their per ton price will be high. Because of the fundamental which I told you, right? Whether I do 300-ton or whether I do 50-ton project, it's going to take me 1 week. So that design charges for 1 week will be loaded on the project. So instead of going for PEB, maybe you can use readily available conventional structures, readily available beams. You can talk to some of the dealers, keep number of steel dealers with you, just ask them what sections are available. Is this section available? Is it available? Not available? I will use only that section. Third alternative, even if you are not able to manage that, you can design PEB, make structure with 3 plate, make the girders with 3 plates, right? It can be fabricated anywhere, not necessarily that you have to go to PEB plant only. It can be fabricated at site also. They will have normal welding done, perfectly all right. Still, your project can be addressed, your project can be delivered, you can get it. But as far as I know, there are people in Siliguri, I'm sure there are people in Guwahati and Kolkata also. who has a capability of delivering steel projects. Question is, yes, you being a junior person, you may not be getting kind of response that we get probably from the PB agencies, because amount of business that we give and amount of business you give will be different. So that's okay. We have also faced that in early time of our career. It doesn't mean that we take wrong decision. He's smiling. He's happily smiling, thinking that what are they thinking? 50 ton कितना करूँगा तो मेरा होगा आगे. Yeah, you please see, these are the forum. This is the forum for that. Meet those people, take their numbers, keep your database, and then contact them. Yeah. Anyone else?
If I may add some insight of this enlightened discussion by the panel and the audience. So what I think not only there should be a mind change from RCC to steel structure, but also it need to be a mind change from relatively advanced or kind of industrially progressed part of India to Northeast, specific to talk about increasing steel consumption in Northeast. Because the parallel that you have given, there are a lot of development on steel structure is happening in Mumbai and other metro cities, why it is not happening in Northeast. Okay, so there are various aspects of it. Like think of a situation where Bombay is not having any kind of readily available steel. Okay, now Mumbai is surrounded by all the steel players like JSW, SAIL, Tata and all, even that import road is there. But that is not there. Repeatedly it is coming in Northeast, even if it is available all over the India, but steel availability is a problem. Okay, as you are saying, solution to that, make a readily available standard section to make RCC structure. It is not so easy because geographical topography is different from the elsewhere in India. Okay, so we have to start with the basic fact. It is India, of course, a multi-speed economy. Steel consumption average in India, one said that 1/3 of it would be less in Northeast. Why it is so? So that is the fact. Some disturbance in.
Correct.
So, sir, as you talked about the economy, about if you do a comparison like RCC and like steel structure, economy will favor the steel structure, but still it is not happening. Okay. So I'll come to the problem part. Okay, so we know all the fact and all. So one part I have mentioned, like steel availability is a problem. Second part, it's reluctant of the steel structure manufacturer or PEB manufacturer to set up their unit over here. So I have in contact some fabricator, PEB 2-3 fabricator over here, but they regularly say that the problem is steel availability, first problem. Second problem is that skilled manpower. Okay, so the solution, the main, if I talk about the 80% problem is getting created by 20% of the reason. One is that steel availability. Second, I will request through this influencer or the government or the industrial body, please encourage RCC manufacturer to set up their unit over here. Initially, they may not be profitable. They are not always profitable. If I take out the history about all these PVs, initially they were not profitable, right? But now they are profitable elsewhere in India. So that same story they can repeat in Northeast. Set up their unit, take small order, get interest generated to the user or investors. They will readily take the solution to it. And third aspect that I feel the skill building is required. It is not feasible to take the engineer and the construction worker elsewhere from the other places and construct this. It is not feasible, it is not possible. And that is the biggest problem the PV manufacturers are facing here. So some kind of skill building, some school or training institute need to be backed up. If the ecosystem is there, I don't think there is a problem in Northeast. Why it cannot pick up and catch what is the steel building or development happening elsewhere in India.
Right. So, honors of all these things, what you discussed about, number one, manpower not available, the onus lies on us. Nobody is going to supply you skilled manpower. It cannot happen. It can never happen. We have to make our manpower skilled. We have to promote the same thing in colleges. The students will have to accept it. They should get good opportunities after they pass out from the college. If they get it, they will adopt that. Why not? They will accept it. So on us of doing whatever is required is on us, it is not on government. Government cannot supply you skilled engineers. No government can do that. Number one. Number two, as far as putting up a plant of PEB plant is concerned in Northeast, we already have few of them. Whoever finds it profitable venture, they are all businessmen. At the end of the day, they are doing it for their earning. If the venture is profitable, they will come here. Why not? All PEB vendor wants to set up their plant in Gujarat. Why? Because they have so much work, they have so much profitability. So they want to go there. If they start seeing same profitability, same business in Northeast, they'll come here. They mean business. They just want business, and any businessman would do that for sure. So again, that onus also comes on a moment they start. I mean, if Mr. Agarwal has 100 inquiry tomorrow, let it be 50 ton each, but he has requirement of 100 buildings. He will not hesitate to expand his operations. Why? He is here to do business. If you are giving him business, he will expand. There are, I mean, at the end of the day, if there is business, everybody would like to do that. So, the onus again comes back to us. I mean, as a designer, as an architect, as a developer, the onus comes back to us. If we try to promote that, if we generate that, everything else will fall in place. They will come here. And as regards availability of steel, morning also, I think you raised this in the morning half. After that, I got opportunity to talk to Mr. Amit Santra. Is he there? Yes. I talked to him. He says, Amitji, 3 years back, Tata was selling 40,000 ton of steel in this area. This year, they have already completed 83,000 ton of steel. In 3 years, it is more than doubled. They are doing it. They are supplying it. But it is getting consumed. Imagine, you are not getting it. So that's the demand. The demand has grown multifold. They are gearing up to supply that. And things will fall in place. It's no simple task. From 40,000 to 83,000 in span of just 3 years. So that's the pace at which Indian economy is growing. Please understand and accept. We have opportunity to build country. We have to run fast. Otherwise, someone else will take that opportunity from us.
That's good. So either we developed here or some multinational is coming. But sir, give you the breakup of 83,000 ton that has
is sitting just behind.
Yeah. So I will tell you. So I also part of that group. It is more the long than the flat. We are talking about steel as building where flat steel mostly used. If you see the growth is not that phenomenal as it is for the long part of it.
Amit,
So,
this is for your...
so now coming to one dilemma I am having listening to you, whether it is first the egg or the hen, right? Whether the developer first or the user first give the project, generate the project to the PEB, or the PEB themselves will enlighten to establish the unit, right? So as you are proposing the first one, right? So their pool strategy would be most profitable or feasible rather than the pool strategy, push strategy, right? Pool in the sense the user and the investors should come with a lot of project. Then only the PEB will come. So I don't think that's going to happen because, again I'm saying, so specific study, the deep study need to be the consumer mindset, the investors as well as the user mindset in Northeast. So if that being the case, user will develop a lot of project, that would have happened long back. That is not happening. So it is not working. So push strategy is most kind of feasible to my mind. So I will request to these industrial bodies and then forum, please influence those PEB. Lot of opportunities are there in Northeast. Please have a small scale operating unit over here. I talked to Abhishek ji. He has extended the manufacturing facility to Siliguri. He is not also kind of taking the guts to have one manufacturing unit over here. I know 2 or 3 manufacturers are there, but they are not also that much of capability and capacity is not that much. So that is the only solution what I feel. Push strategy is important to increase the steel consumption, especially to RCC, that prefabricated building in Northeast. So that is my limited kind of insight I have shared.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
For the industry to take the suggestion, I'm sure it's very valid suggestion that if you put it up, maybe someday things will change here. Maybe, yes. Why not?
So just an example. What points the gentleman is putting, I don't think that's at all a problem. Logistics and everything is taken care, and I think per capita consumption of steel, particularly in Assam, is much higher than a lot of other states. Number one. Number two, if you see the statistics, the amount of roofing sheets which is used here in the entire Northeast is one of the highest. Almost, if industry people are here, they can give a better data. But what I know, it's around 18,000 metric ton of roofing sheets is getting sold in Northeast. Obviously, these are getting supported somewhere. And these are not today's time, not bamboo or a wooden structure. So they are definitely steel structure on which the sheets are putting. That's what I want to give.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll take last question because we've exhausted all the time.
Hello. Yeah, fantastic session actually. Basically, like learned engineers, I really appreciate that. My actually question or observation, whatever you say, is that I could see a lot of debates between RCC and steel, different kind of structures. But my question or maybe a thought is different actually. So we're thinking, why we're not thinking of competing with other industries? Like, for example, we all are civil engineers, structural engineers. And one of the things which is coming out probably, there is not much of skill, labor or engineers are coming into this industry. One of the reasons I believe is that we are one of the, let's face it, we are one of the laggard industry when you compare ourselves with, let's say, other industries, let's say mechanical or let's say IT industries. Their per person productivity is very high and their profitability is very high. That's the reason, one of the reasons why you'd see that their stocks are very valued and people love to go to those industries. For example, some of my friends probably in IT industries making a lot more money than I'm doing. I think the same story. And a lot of civil engineers people, they want to send their children to different industries. So there's not much of encouragement for people to come into the industry. So what is and I could see there's a lot of inefficiencies right from the conceptual stage to the erection. We do use a lot of technology, of course, in pockets, but not like mechanical industry has developed like PLM, like product life cycle management, and they're doing so they have done this thing like 2 to 3 decades before. And also IT industry, I believe, per person productivity, if you look at the McKinsey report, you'll find that they're the highest actually, and that's the reason why they're making a lot of money. So, I mean, what our industry stalwarts are thinking towards, making this industry from one of the least digitized industry to the highest digitized industry, so that we can use technology at every step to remove those inefficiencies. What are your thoughts, and what are the things we can do together to make this industry more attractive for everybody to join in, because one of the things which I always see that we are the nation builders. Let's say, for example, a civil engineer is making a building in, let's say, Gurgaon, with all the efforts, and those guys sitting there, IT people, are making, let's say, 3-4 times more money than a civil engineer. Or we are building roads, or we build iconic structures, but we are not getting paid or that much. So that's one of the concerns which I will have. With that, whatever your thoughts are there, I would like to hear from you. Thank you.
Can I
please.
try to answer your question? See, you are right, the basic problems which you have listed, but as the panel has been discussing, a lot of advancements are being happening. Some week back, I was discussing with the Indian Institute of Science, ISC Bangalore. They are setting up a center of excellence for construction 4.0, which will be synchronized with the industry 4.0. So, and a concept called DFMA, that is designed for manufacturing and assembly, something akin to the the assembly line process for buildings. So very soon you will be seeing plug and play buildings. Just purchase a building, order a building, it get delivered to your location. Just plug and play, plug the services, utility services, and start using it. So those concepts are becoming reality.
Thank you.
It's already on. Efforts are on.
I like his idea. I also, as a civil engineer, like to be get paid more. So if anything,
right. So give value addition.
No, but
give value addition and ask for extra money.
No, one point is.
You have to earn your own bread.
No, if you go to mid-management level in the civil, if you start going to mid-management level in the civil, there is a severe shortage of people. Extraordinary severe shortage of people. You don't get the people. People who are getting 30-40 lakhs, you see their productivity is nil because there are not much people. So probably the reason is that at initial level people are not coming because civil line as a line has a struggle for a first few years. And our lot of youngsters don't want that. They want to go to
the per person productivity is very low in our industry.
No, but again, you have to see overall. IT also. Productivity is good, but after 10-15 years, what is the life of IT person? So, it's a overall things we have to see. Yes, what you're telling is a challenge, but today in a mid-management, there is extraordinary shortage of a civil engineer. They're not there. And people with a very limited skill are demanding very high salary, and they're getting it.
You ask any structural consultant or any PEB company for that matter, they will say we are not getting good structural engineers. I can tell you this. And any student sitting here, if you are not getting a job, just send your CV, we will ensure that you will be placed. I can guarantee that to you.
The problem is that the people are not becoming good structural engineers.
See, we are probably seeing a situation today where IT looks very lucrative to children. All right. The civil engineering was also equally good and equally paying high few years back. Even today, if you see, L&T became L&T after ECC was introduced. L&T's turnover, if you see, the contribution of ECC and the L&T equipment manufacturing, you can compare it. You can go to net, you can find their figures and all, and you can see which is bigger business. ECC is doing much bigger business than L&T.
But they bought this, mind tree to make their, balance sheet look better actually. If you look at that,
Exactly. So that's where the money is. That's where the money is. Please understand this. It's not IT which is earning for L&T. It is ECC which is earning for L&T. Shapoorji Pallonji don't have IT branch at all. They are also making handsome money. There are so many international companies also which became big after they ventured into civils. Money is endless in civil. You should have your own capabilities. You have to earn your bread. If you want to earn 1 crore per month, you have to prove that you are worth that. You are giving worth of that. You are giving more than that. Then somebody will pay you 1 crore. Otherwise, nobody is going to tell you whether, "Arey boss, koi baat nahi. Work from home, I am giving you 1 crore." It will never happen. Right? So, anything else, or we conclude the panel discussion? Yeah. Finally, the youngsters have woke up now.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question from design aspect. Like in RCC, we have many methods to enhance the performance-based design, but when it comes to steel, if any method, please enlighten. And the vertical acceleration is one of the major factor. So can you please give some suggestions on that when it comes to steel structures?
Sir is the best person.
I'm just available here. I'm not. What you want to know exactly? Can you?
In RCC structure, many methods are there to enhance the performance, to performance-based design. And so, if it comes to steel, is there any?
Yeah. Like what in terms of method, whatever method you apply in RCC, the same method. If you do performance-based design. Yeah. If you do performance design, our problem in RCC is the different levels. Immediate occupancy level. When we say performance-based design, that is mostly for seismic, right, Amiji?
Right.
Yes.
I have IO level. IO level for general understanding. There's an earthquake. The building should be so safe that I just run out if I'm in the ground floor, and I can come back again. We call it IO level, immediate occupancy level. Then I have LS level, life safety level, okay, which may be at a level where if there's an earthquake, I may have to repair certain things. Most of my vertical members, which is stabilizing the structure for lateral load, are okay. My other members may have some issues. Collapse prevention level is a level where building is not just collapsing, not killing people, but you cannot reuse the building without major repair, or you may have to demolish that. But you don't have these issues in steel building per se, because we don't have this plastic hinge formation mechanism like in RCC, okay? So in steel, the collapse is much more predictable. We don't need collapse, but we know how the steel building is going to collapse.
Exactly.
Not so unknown like RCC building. I have designed more RCC building than steel building as it is demanded. I am not supporting, as Amit was saying, that neither I am a person who is supporting RCC is better or steel is better. Every material is better in its own place.
Yes.
But for performance base, you have document published by FEMA. If you are interested, if you give me your, share your mail ID, because in this forum we can go on and discuss about that.
It's a long topic,
but
really
interesting
speaking,
topic.
If you talk about performance-based design, I don't think you need performance-based in steel. It's not required. Steel, you are designing actual, and there is no question of cracks.
Yeah. Steel is, it is already plastic. Like in RCC, we say limit state. And for certain structure, we still do working stress like water retaining structures, nuclear structures are working stress still, so that crack control is very much necessary. But when it comes to steel, we know the behavior so well that it is plastic design, 2007, 800 and other codes are there. But of course, if you want to do a pushover analysis in a steel building, you can still do that and try to see the various phases. But problem is the formation of plastic hinges and all these phases will be not like RCC structure. But we can discuss in detail sometime. I can send you some material if you share your email ID, if that helps you, and always can talk at length in another platform. But thank you for the question.
Thank you, sir.
No, it's nice to know that people are thinking beyond boundaries. This is beyond boundaries.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
May I request you to hear one lady
Yeah,
Because we had few
they are completely silent.
There was no presentation by any female technocrat. At least, you know,
Yes,
if
yes.
you allow, at
Yeah,
least
please, please. At least one question.
just for
So that people don't say that they were not participating.
any ladies can just say few things, or
Yeah.
so that we can say that there's a complete discussion.
Hello, I'm Deepika Singh from NPEC, National Power Engineering Company. And it's a very good experience. It's first time experience in Steel Summit, and it's about. I'm very grateful to MX Business that they called us for this summit, and very obliged and happy to continue with them and meet with the new peoples again and again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You are practicing civil engineer?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah. So should we complete this? I thank you so much for listening to us first of all, and it was very nice participation from all the people. We look forward to having much more participation. Higher the participation, better the panel discussions will be. So we look forward to seeing all of you in Steel Day in Mumbai, and we will have even more interactive, even more interesting panel discussions happening in coming up Steel Day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all panelists.